Welcome to another Faith Note for today. As the shelter in place continues into another week, I'm finding that I'm using my cell phone more and more. Communications have greatly improved since my childhood. I remember, for example, as a young child, that we had a telephone that was a 4-digit number. 3942 was our number, and we were on a party line with several other families in the community. Cell phones have not only made such memories foggy, they have greatly improved our ability to communicate with one another. We can talk to someone anytime, anywhere, at any place around the world. The versatility of a cell phone is amazing. They're miniature computers connecting us with the vast world of the internet. You can take pictures, you can watch movies, you can do so many things with cell phones. You can play games, you can connect to an unlimited number of applications. Cell phones represent one of the true marvels of the 21st century. Despite their many benefits, cell phones also have limitations. They can be expensive. They require recharging. Sometimes they simply don't work. They drop calls. They have dead zones. They clearly don't do well in water. They break. They require a tower to be close by for you to connect to the system. And despite all their flaws, cell phones are here to stay as our primary way to communicate. The Bible speaks a lot about communication. We are told, for example, encouraged to avoid gossiping. We are to guard what comes from our lips. We are to treat others as we wish to be treated, and we are urged to converse with God on a regular basis. You know, prayer is that basis, that way that we converse. Prayer is the way that we remain connected with God. Prayer is the way that we talk with God on a daily basis. You know, a lot's been said about prayer in the Bible. Jesus separated himself from the crowds and even from the disciples to spend time in prayer. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus instructs the disciples to separate themselves from the distractions of life when they seek to pray. In Matthew 6, Jesus says, "When you pray, go away by yourself, shut the door behind you, and pray to your Father, and turn to your Father and pray in private. Then your Father who sees everything will reward you." You know, unlike cell phones, there are no dead zones, there are no recharging periods, there's no fees, there's no drop calls at the other end when it comes to prayer. We don't have to worry about being out of range or between towers. Conversation with God is available 24/7, 365 days of the year. And it's available on mountaintops as well as the deepest valleys, in the good times as well as the challenging times. The Bible encourages us to pray daily. We are encouraged to share our wants, our dreams, our hopes, our fears. Prayer is more than simply offering our wish list of needs and wants, however. We are also encouraged to listen for the kind of direction, the kind of inspiration, conviction, and wisdom that only God can provide. During this time of reduced activity, take advantage of the gift of prayer. Speak to God often. You don't have to pray like everyone else. God wants to hear your prayers, your voice, and the concerns of your heart in your own words. Rest assured that despite what that commercial suggests, God can always hear you now. Thanks again now for listening to another and joining us for another Faith Note. Join us again Sunday as we live stream the service at 10 a.m. I want to close with these words from Philippians chapter 4. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank God for all that God has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything that we can understand. Amen.